Welcome back. Today we're talking about demystifying the gods. Who are the gods? Let's get to the root of this. Let's demystify this mysteriousness about the gods, right? The gods are our dual nature self, exploring the world in disembodied duality being in ignorance of the self, only exploring as ego, as consciousness, as ego, not in awareness of the self at all. They're 100% what? Ego. Ignorance of their light. What is the true definition of a God? So the true definition of God is a duality being. God is a duality being who is in separation from its light and separation from itself. There is two kinds of gods. There's the primal light God, and then there's the self-consciousness God. Because remember, when we come into being, we come in with our dual nature, the self and the self-consciousness. The self-consciousness is the baby consciousness as the God. And the primal light is the baby primal light as the God. So this is the two kinds of God that come into the duality. So remember that the gods, whether it's the primal light or it's the self-consciousness, they're what? They're not in awareness of themselves. The God inside of us is sleeping, is not in awareness of the self, is sleeping obscure behind the mind, sleeping and in unawareness of the self. You have to wake up the God, the great I am, so that it can come into awareness of the self. And this is the God that comes into the body, right? The sleeping God into the body within ourselves. The soul has split itself into a two self, the baby self, which is the God, and which is not in awareness. The soul is in awareness. The soul, it becomes the witness, the watcher. Now, the God is in the body. So our other aspect of ourself now, the other God aspect of ourself that comes into the world, it comes disembodied. It doesn't come into a body. That self is the self that we are giving our souls to and worshiping. It's in complete ignorance of itself. It's 100% ego.